Hey there, friends. If you're passionate about history and ancient mysteries, I'd really love for you to join our journey. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and leave a comment below to support us so you never miss any of our videos now or in the future. Your support truly means the world to us. 5 astonishing discoveries that changed the history of Egyptology. Egypt hides its secrets beneath the sands, and sometimes, just sometimes, it reveals them to us. Today we're going to explore 5 archaeological discoveries that didn't just change what we thought we knew, but also changed the way we see history. Because when we uncover the past, we also discover more about ourselves. Welcome back, lovers of Kemet. Thanks for stopping by my channel. Today we're diving into 5 of the greatest discoveries ever made in Egypt. Now, Egypt is overflowing with incredible finds, so picking just 5 is almost impossible. But these are my top 5, and I'd love for you to tell me in the comments below if you think I missed one that deserves to be on this list. Discovery number 5, the oldest zoo in history. Not many people know about this one, but it's fascinating. Archaeologists uncovered what's considered the world's first zoo, dating back to pre-dynastic Egypt, even before the very first king, Narmer, united the country. That's before 3000 BC. At Hierakonpolis, known in ancient times as Nekhen, they discovered not only massive human tombs, but also carefully prepared animal burials. We're talking elephants, hippos, leopards, baboons, antelopes, dogs, wildcats, and exotic birds like ostriches. Ostriches were especially important symbolically, since the feather of the goddess Ma'at, the symbol of truth and justice, was an ostrich feather. What's really interesting is that many of these animals had healed fractures, meaning they'd been kept in captivity for months or even years and were well cared for. They likely had ritual or symbolic roles. For example, the hippo was linked to chaos and the god Seth, while the leopard symbolized priestly power and royal authority. Keeping these animals showed the ruler's ability to control the forces of nature. In other words, this zoo wasn't just about animals, it was a powerful religious and political statement. Discovery number 4. The tomb of Queen Nefertari. Next up is a discovery that's very close to my heart, and to many of yours as well. The tomb of Queen Nefertari. Discovered by Ernesto Schiaparelli in 1904, it's one of the most breathtaking tombs in all of Egypt. Although it wasn't found intact with treasures like some other tombs, what makes it priceless is its art. The paintings on the walls are so well preserved, they look like they were painted yesterday. Nefertari, as you know, was the great royal wife of Ramses II, one of the most famous and powerful pharaohs of all time. Ramses adored her. He built this magnificent tomb for her in the Valley of the Queens, QV 66, near Thebes, which is modern-day Luxor. He even had a temple built for her at Abu Simbel, where she's depicted the same size as him, showing her importance. Inside the tomb, the ceilings sparkle with golden stars, and the walls are filled with stunning scenes from the Book of the Dead, showing Nefertari's journey into the afterlife with the gods guiding her. It's been called the Sistine Chapel of ancient Egypt. Over the years, the tomb has suffered damage, mainly from salt in the limestone, humidity and microbes. Restoration projects have helped preserve it, but because of how fragile it is, it's been opened and closed to visitors several times. When it is open, visits are very short and heavily controlled. Personally, I think it's best kept closed. Protecting something over 3,000 years old is more important than getting a selfie inside. Discovery number 3. The Rosetta Stone. Now, this one might not look as flashy as a golden mask or a painted tomb, but, its importance is immeasurable. The Rosetta Stone. Discovered in 1799 by a French officer named Pierre-François Bouchard during Napoleon's campaign in Egypt, the stone was later taken by the British after France's defeat and has been housed in the British Museum ever since. The stone dates back to 196 BC during the reign of Ptolemy V. It's inscribed with a decree written in 3 scripts: hieroglyphs, Demotic and Ancient Greek. Since scholars at the time could already read Greek, this became the key to finally unlocking the mystery of hieroglyphs. In 1822, Jean-François Champollion cracked the code, opening the door to understanding ancient Egyptian language, culture and history directly from their own writings, rather than relying on guesswork. Without the Rosetta Stone, Egyptology as we know it simply wouldn't exist. And of course, no list would be complete without this one. In 1922, Howard Carter made one of the most famous discoveries in history, the tomb of King Tutankhamun. Unlike most tombs, which had been looted long ago, Tutankhamun's was nearly intact. When Carter peered inside with his sponsor, Lord Carnarvon, he famously described seeing wonderful things. Can you imagine being the first to glimpse treasures that had been sealed away for more than 3,000 years? King Tut himself wasn't one of Egypt's greatest rulers, but his tomb captured the world's imagination and brought ancient Egypt into the spotlight like never before. He was probably the nephew of Akhenaten, that revolutionary religious pharaoh from the 18th dynasty around 1300 BC. Let's just say this, thanks to Tutankhamun, all the Egyptian cultural and religious traditions that Akhenaten had broken were restored. The gods were worshipped again, especially Amun-Ra, the chief god at the time whom Akhenaten had completely banned. And when I say banned, I mean Akhenaten tried to erase him everywhere and outlaw his worship entirely. Tutankhamun's tomb is officially tomb KV62 in the Valley of the Kings. As you all know, it's quite small for a pharaoh, but it's the one that miraculously survived intact, right? And even though the tomb was tiny, it was overflowing with treasures. So many that Howard Carter, the archaeologist who discovered it, was completely overwhelmed. He spent years cataloguing and organizing the finds, exhausted to the point that he never even managed to finish publishing everything. And that makes me wonder, if this much was found in such a small tomb, just imagine what the tomb of Ramses II, Hatshepsut, or even Nefertari must have looked like before they were robbed. My brain can't even process it. It's like trying to wrap your head around billions. Ancient looters did see it, of course, but to them it was just part of their own culture, so they didn't value it the way we do today. Anyway, what's gone is gone. The discovery of Tutankhamun's tomb had a massive global impact because it came at the right time, when the West wasn't distracted by wars or bigger crises. People devoured the stories in the newspapers. And as if the discovery itself wasn't enough, the press started spreading stories about a curse killing off archaeologists, which, as I explained in another video, was completely false. But the press has always loved a bit of drama, hasn't it? Now about Howard Carter. He stirred up a lot of gossip in his time. People said he wasn't well educated, didn't speak well, didn't know how to behave at the dinner table or use the right cutlery, but honestly, he was an extraordinary archaeologist with a brilliant strategic mind. He figured out how to locate Tut's tomb and surrounded himself with the best experts of his time, both archaeologists and linguists. That alone shows his genius. Personally, I admire him a lot. And finally, let's talk about the last of my top 5 discoveries, another intact royal tomb. But this one didn't get the same attention because it was discovered during World War II, when the world was far too distracted to care. I'm talking about the tomb of Psusennes I at Tanis in the Nile Delta. It was discovered in 1940 by the French Egyptologist Pierre Montet. He actually uncovered several tombs, but Psusennes was the most spectacular, completely sealed and filled with treasures, including an incredible set of nested coffins. Who was Psusennes I? He was a pharaoh of the 21st dynasty, around 1040 BC, ruling from Tanis in the north while the high priest of Amun held power in Thebes. His burial shows this delicate balance between royal authority in the delta and religious authority in the south during the Third Intermediate Period. His tomb contained 3 coffins, an outer one of pink granite, a middle one of black granite, and an inner one made entirely of solid silver. Yes, silver. Now you might be thinking, but gold is more valuable. Not to the ancient Egyptians. Silver was rarer and harder to get. They had to import it, while gold came in abundance from Nubia. So a solid silver coffin was the ultimate luxury. And inside that silver coffin lay Psusennes himself with a golden funerary mask. Of course, Tutankhamun's mask is the most famous, but Psusennes' mask is equally stunning, though less decorated, elegant and dignified. Alongside it, they found bracelets, golden sandals, finger and toe covers, scepters, amulets, and more. The preservation was amazing, especially considering the damp delta climate, which usually destroys organic material. The wood, flowers, and food offerings didn't survive, but the metals and jewels did, leaving behind a dazzling treasure. Yet, despite all this, the discovery went almost unnoticed. The world was at war. The press barely covered it, and to this day, very few people even know about Psusennes I's tomb. It's a shame, because it was just as incredible as Tut's. Discoveries like these don't just show us objects. They raise questions. Ancient Egypt speaks to us through its painted tombs, its papyri, and its sun temples. And every time we decipher a bit more of their world, our own world changes, because we understand ourselves and our origins just a little better. If this video inspired you to see Egypt in a new light, don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell so you won't miss any of my videos. And if you want to go deeper, check out my online academy, Academy de Egyptology, where you'll find specialized courses on history, culture and religion. Study at your own pace, whether you're a student or just passionate about ancient Egypt. All right, I've been recording videos back to back today. I've got a lot on my plate, but I hope you enjoyed this one. As you can tell, I'm a bit more relaxed here, even throwing in some jokes. And little by little, my natural southern accent keeps sneaking back in.